aid groups are warning that prolonged fighting in the Libyan town of Sirte is causing a humanitarian crisis. The interim council called a two-day ceasefire to allow residents to flee the town, and they are by the hundreds. But heavy fighting has continued despite the truce. For more on the story, we've reached Suad Massoudi with the International Committee of the Red Cross in Tripoli. So, Suad, I know you've been working with colleagues who are part of a team that have been in Sirte. What are they telling you about the situation there?
Well, our team of about 4 people have been able finally to access Sirte after trying for weeks. They have reached the hospital of Ibn Sina in the city center, and they have offloaded the much-needed medical supplies, such as war-wounded kits that will allow the doctors to treat about 200 to 300 war-wounded patients. Dressing kits, body bags, and other supplies. And they have also donated fuel, about 400 liters, for the generator of the hospital. They then proceeded inside the hospital and talked with the doctors and the nurses present, who have expressed their concerns as they don't have oxygen. I mean, the oxygen is running out, which is necessary to be able to carry out operations. On top of that, what our team has seen that the water tower of the hospital was damaged by the fighting, which is, of course, making their situation even more precarious.
So it sounds, Suad, you're describing a situation where the water tower has been damaged, so therefore the hospital isn't able to use water just in terms of basic hospital hygiene. You talk about this desperate need for oxygen. So what happens now? How able is the Red Cross to muster quickly and perhaps try and get that oxygen into the town and into the hospital where it's needed?
So now we are working on that today. We have been also able to meet with some representatives of the community inside Sirte, of the civilians. And they have also reported the need for food supplies to come in, access to drinking water. So we are looking into how we could get in as quickly as possible back into Sirte to provide them with these much-needed supplies.
We've been talking about Sirte, but in the bigger picture, as you look at Libya, are there other parts of the country where there is a growing concern about a humanitarian crisis? If so, where?
Definitely, definitely. We have been continuously working over the past week around Sirte. We have a huge number of IDPs from Sirte in Washka, in the area, in the desert area around Havawa, in Wadi Mrah. We are talking about 10,000 people, and as of yesterday, while our teams were going in, there was also a huge number of people coming out of Sirte. We have a report of about 1,000 more people since yesterday present around Sirte, about 15 kilometers. And then, of course, there are also the huge needs for the IDPs, for the civilians who have fled Bani Walid. We are talking about more or less 10,000 people in Tininaya, about 60 kilometers from Bani Walid.
Obviously, the concerns about the humanitarian crisis continues to deepen. We'll definitely follow all developments. Suad, appreciate your time. Thanks very much for this update. That's Suad Massoudi speaking to us from Tripoli.